Hello again, I'm Bob Weir with the Cross Timbers Gazette, and my guests today are Mehrdad Moetti, President and CEO of Centurion American, the real estate company commissioned to build the Riverwalk in Flower Mound. Also is Jack Dawson, Vice President of Centurion American. Thank you guys for being here, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Because I'm going to be writing an article that includes your bio, we can get right into the video. So why don't we begin with, in 2013, residents voted to approve a public improvement district for the Riverwalk, providing up to $16 million for infrastructure. Are you currently having any challenges with the financing of this project?
No, I mean, the PID is probably 60-70%. Improvements of the pit, probably 60-70% completed. City administers those funds and they release funds as their work is completed. However, there's another component which is the riverside, which is on our dollars, and we're spending those dollars, and that has got a lot of more intricacy to it, such as water walls, and we're currently trying to accomplish a LOMAR, which we've been working on it for 12 months now, which includes all the improvements in the floodplain has to be done before city approves the LOMAR, which is a letter of map revision that goes to FEMA, and that hopefully will be complete in the next 30 days. And once that's done, that really frees our hand up a lot about coming vertical with stuff after that LOMAR is filed. And again, we're hoping to accomplish that within the next 30 days. Also, about within the next 60 days, we're hoping to accomplish the landscaping irrigation, which includes somewhere close to 1,000 new trees we brought to our location and planted all along the river, which we've already planted quite a bit on the Timber Trail Park, and also the park by the villas and the entrance to the villas. But there'll be quite a bit more free trees that's going to come to the location to be planted. And I would say in about 60 to 70 days, we will actually see the waterfalls and the river will be flowing, which is a good day for us. It's been a long time getting there, especially with the year that we had, which we lost over half of our year just to rain and floods, which in this location, when it rains, it's not the day you lose on rain, it's 2 or 3 days after that you got to clean up and get things back in order to work again. So for every day that rains, we lose another 3 days, but we're almost there, so we're grateful, and it's taken a little longer than we thought, but we're working. As far as funding, we're funding everything, and gone through making sure that the funds are there to complete the project, infrastructure, and the landscaping, things that are private.
And we've heard some concerns from residents about the length of time it takes to complete the Riverwalk. Can you provide any estimate of the completion date?
Well, I mean, again, when we're saying completion, let me be clear. Completion of the river, which is the river landscaping around it, sound system, lighting, benching, shade structures, signage, waterfalls, we're probably 90 days away from being done. However, the restaurant side, which there's going to be some retaining walls are going to be complete, but until the restaurant come vertical, because some of those restaurants actually back up to the river, the patios, that little area of landscaping and stuff will be 6-8 months down the road after the vertical construction is complete. That includes also where the amphitheater is, because they back up to the river exactly, on the west side. On the east side will all be completed. And so that's the river itself. The infrastructure, which is all the infrastructure the pit's paying for, we're probably 120 days away from being complete. And all the bridges are set. But again, those bridges, lead time just to make those bridges was 12 months, But anyway, they're there. They're getting poured. All the streets we poured. And so that part's going on. The residential components, which is a lot less complicated, is going on already, and it's well on its way. And the townhomes will get started with Ryland. The townhomes or our country homes will get started here in the next 4 to 5 months when the infrastructure is complete. The row housing there behind the hospital will probably be about 6 months away. And then in conjunction with the restaurants, the amphitheater and chapel, which is our first phase of commercial, there will be about 30,000 square foot of commercial along 2499 that will be built. That would include, Starbucks, nail salon, some Orange, I forgot the name. Merrill Lynch is occupying second floor as far as offices are concerned. So that 34,000 square foot will be built also without phase one. The center portion of commercial, which is the kind of a promenade walk and all that, that's the second phase of commercial. That will be following after this, after we occupy these places.
Wow, you've answered so much of my questions already. I'll have to backtrack a little. If you would just tell me again, when will you expect the river to actually begin flowing?
Hopefully in the next 90 days, the river will be flowing,
All right.
or less.
And how about restaurants and retail establishments? How many do you think are planned for the Riverwalk?
There's about 27,000 square feet of restaurant space. Again, some of these restaurants that we're talking to are bigger than others. There'll be somewhere number-wise between 6 to 8 restaurants occupying that 27,000 square foot. And then there's a chapel, and then there's the amphitheater, then there's a farmer's market, and then there's a kind of a water area for kids to play in and all that. That's all part of phase one. And I would say once we get infrastructure approval, which is, I said, is about 90 to 120 days from now, 12 months after that, those vertical constructions should be occupying, hopefully.
And when you say vertical constructions, which ones are those?
Chapel,
Okay.
27,000 square foot of restaurant space, reception
Okay.
hall, amphitheater, farmer's market,
All right, let's talk
and
about,
the commercial along 2499.
right, how about the residences that will occupy the development? How many will be multifamily, how many will be townhomes, condos, et cetera?
Well, originally there was 1,250 multifamily units. Now there's about approximately 850 multifamily units and about 360 or so between townhomes, villas, and row housing that are owner-occupied houses.
Okay. All right, so what was the number of multifamily again, just to be
About
clear?
850
About 800,
roughly,
okay.
yes, sir.
Now, I understand in order to develop a project of this size, many trees had to be removed. How many trees will be planted to make up for the loss?
Well, first of all, we actually try to save as many of the trees that was there in existence in a tree farm that we've been keeping on location. But besides that, there's close to 1,000 more trees that overall in a project will be planted.
Over 1,000 trees, okay.
Approximately 1,000 trees, yes, sir.
All right, is anything else that either of you gentlemen would like to add about the Riverwalk? I think we've covered a lot about when it's going to begin flowing, the amount of retail establishments, restaurants, apartments, townhomes and so on. Is there something else that we're missing? You want to add something?
Well, I mean, a couple of things. First of all, the project's financially sound. We're going forward. The fact that its length of time has been a lot longer. Last year was probably the worst, I know in history, it was worst year we had as far as rainfall, and it just was going, we lost more than half of the year. And so, once the project is done, in my opinion, there'll be nothing like it within even surrounding cities. So we're hoping something that Flower Mound's proud of, and we're looking forward to. It's one of our top projects.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are. Mr. Moetti and Mr. Dawson, I want to thank you for this interview and for your willingness to bring residents up to date on a project that has been the talk of this town for several years. So here's hoping the Riverwalk lives up to the expectations we all have for it. Thank you, Mr. Dawson, for being here. Thank you, Mr. Moetti, for being here.
Thanks.
And thank you for watching.